Okay, this is part 4. So, again, this is where I am literally cracked open. This is where I believe that I said, God, I'm ready. This is where I believe that I said, God, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. So, um, here's where it all starts. So I blocked the person, and we used to do that, go back and forth, the blocking, and then I unblock, and then the person will call my business phone, and then it was the normal. He thought that this was just our normal. I knew that this was not my normal. This would not be my norm. This was the end. This was the end for me, literally. Um, so I had blocked him on both my phones. Um, okay. Then July, I'll say July, beginning of July, I said, okay, this person is not going to stop bothering me because he knows that if he consistently keeps bothering me, this is what he thought, because this has happened several times. If he consistently keeps bothering me, I'm gonna give in. He's gonna say the right thing, and I'm gonna give in, and I'm gonna say, okay, I understand. Like, let's just try. No, 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 not this time. Not this time. So I wasn't answering the phone. He was calling blocked. I wasn't answering the phone. A friend of mine calls me and said that this person reached out to her. Hmm. I knew, this is where shit starts speeding up. And I'm like, yeah, I know this is a fucking narcissist. First of all, how did you get my friend's number? So he had threw me a birthday party. And at the time, I knew that I didn't want to give, because I don't got that many friends anyway. He had threw me a birthday party, and he was trying to surprise me. But see, that's another thing too, because I initiated the party, and I said, hey, why don't you showcase your food, because he can cook real good. Why don't you cook, showcase your food, because I was trying to get him to start this business because he's great at cooking. American food, African food. So I put that idea out there, which I've given plenty of ideas. Like I said, I'm a builder. You with me, baby? We gonna build. We ain't gonna stand still. Cause if you standing still, that means I'm standing still, and I ain't standing still. So, and that's just a little backstory on that. So, I had gave him. I thought about this. This was my intuition. Now, prior to this, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not about to give him nobody's number, because he's the type of person that's gonna reach out to some people when we get into it. And I'm not one that, I'm not about to go be telling this person, telling that person. Now, when you're in a relationship with someone and they have a sibling that you close with, or a mother or father that you close with, you talk to them. But then as you get older, it's like every time y'all get into it, what you gonna run and tell them? Then what they gonna do? I did that when I was in my early 20s. I don't do that no more. So this friend reaches out to me and says that this person had contacted her. So that's a person. This is the same person. I gave him her phone number so she can gather everybody else up to come to the surprise party. I mean, 10 steps ahead. I already knew what was up. And again, because I pay attention to people's pattern, I may not say anything, but I am paying attention. I am paying attention. So she said she blocked them. She didn't say anything. I think she told them not to call her or something. So she blocked them. I said, well, here we go. Here we go. So, this person, once he knew that couldn't get through to her, he called me blocked and left a voicemail saying, here, what did he say? Something about flying monkeys and this and that. sir, you've been researching narcissists, huh? You've been researching narcissists, huh? And it's crazy because I had said this to him before, and I was like, you are a effing narcissist. So this is where a narcissist will try to flip it around on you to make it seem like that you're the narcissist. So I said, okay, here we go. That day, I immediately got my number changed. I told my friend, I said, I'm just getting my number changed because I don't have time for this, because it doesn't matter if he's blocked. He's going to call 100 million times daily. It's like he's going to force himself on me to answer the phone. And I don't like that. I don't like when somebody's trying to force themselves on me. So I went and got my number changed. And that's when it happened. That's when I was cracked open. God said, okay, I see you took that first step. Okay, I'm seeing you take this other step. Oh, you serious. You serious. So I took that step. I got my number changed. And that's when it happened. I started feeling like I couldn't be around people. Conversations just wasn't hidden anymore. And mind you, I had already started my business for my High-End Health Alliance. I had started that in June. I used the money that I had from my group homes because I had closed the group homes down. Well, I didn't close it down. One was forcefully closed down, but that's a whole nother story. So I knew that I wanted to invest in something else, prior to that, because I've been in entrepreneurship for a while. I haven't worked a job for a while. So I had opened up a lab. But then on my journey in this spiritual awakening, it just kept changing. I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And I think for a while I've been on that, not chasing money. I always do things that makes me happy and helps other people. But the lab was something that I thought of out of survival. But then as I'm on the journey, I said, okay, drug testing, I don't want to do that. That's no disrespect to the women out there or the business out there that are drug testing, but that's just not for me. So I said, I want to do something that's more of my speed. So then I said, okay, what about you turn this into what is that? Like a center for healing. So you do not the drug testing, you do the blood work, and then you help others heal from herbs and everything. I said, okay, I can get with that. I can do that. So, I started reaching out to people, or people started reaching out to me about that particular business as well. So I changed my number. I got my business is starting. I'm starting to get into that. So I'm putting my energy into the business. I'm not able to talk to certain people anymore. The conversations are just, I'm just feeling disgusted. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm feeling disgusted with everybody. that's what started happening. I stopped eating meat. The smell of meat, the smell of the blood. I can just ride down the street and a restaurant will be cooking, and it's like everything started to disgust me. I was just like, what is going on with me? So then I started to distance myself from people. Now, at this time, like I said, I still had my High-End Health Alliance. I hadn't opened just yet. I was in the process of opening, so I was getting everything together. Okay, so I was not in the process. I was in the process of opening. I hadn't opened yet. So this was July. I had stopped drinking. I had stopped eating meat. And I drank champagne. I drank champagne, and I started to notice I started drinking champagne daily when I was with this person. And champagne don't get me drunk. It just makes me feel a little buzzed. But obviously I was using that. I was using the alcohol to cover up how I was really feeling. So get ready for part 5.